Hey, what's guys? This is your friend Captain Garros back with another smartphone overview, and this time around we are taking a look at the Oppo Reno 8 series. There are three major smartphones in this series: Oppo Reno 8, 8 Pro, 8 Pro Plus, and also on the top of it, Oppo Pad Air. Yeah, we're also gonna be talking about the tablet. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's start off with the base guy, Oppo Reno 8. Yeah, this all the three smartphones are basically 5G, so I don't need to add that type of thing on the top. If I do have a say so, you are going to get is a big display. It is a 6.43 inches AMOLED 90 Hz 800 nits of peak brightness display. Talking about the operating system, then you are going to get is the Android 12 out of the box with the very own UI, or you can say very own OS, known by ColorOS 12.1. Talking about the processor, then you are going to get is the MediaTek Dimensity 1300 processor, which is really capable of doing a lot of things. If I do have to say so, it's a 6nm technology, and if I do have to talk about the GPU, then it is Mali G77. Talking about the battery, then you're going to get is the 4500 mAh composite battery. Inside the box, you're going to get is the 80-watt power adapter, and also the phone supports for the reverse charging, which is gonna be wide reverse charging. Talking about the RAM and ROM, then you're going to get the three different options: 8128, 8256, and 12 to 56 GB. These three options are really nice. And if I have to talk about the storage type, then it is UFS 3.1. About the cameras for the rear side, then you're going to get is a triple camera setup: 50 megapixel plus 2 megapixel plus 2 megapixel sensors. 50 megapixel, it's a wide sensor f1.8 aperture, and 2 megapixel macro MDF sensor f2.4 aperture. And if I do have to talk about the video recording, 4K 60 fps and 1080p 120 fps goes max, which means there are options for the 3060 and their own stuff. About the camera for the front side, then you're going to get is a single camera setup: 32 megapixel f2.4 aperture. It's a wide sensor, 1080p 30 fps. Let's talk about the Pro guy. Oppo Reno 8 Pro. If you have to talk about the display, then you are going to get is the AMOLED 120 fps, 120 Hz, 1300 nits of peak brightness, 6.62 inches display. About the processor, then this is the very first one equipped with the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 processor. It's a 4nm based processor, and if I do have to talk about the GPU, it is having the Reno GPU. Let's talk about some of the things which are common. Basically, the number one thing is the battery and the colors. Yeah, both are the same, and even the adapter is actually the same. And there is one upgrade over the camera on the rear side only, which is having the removal of the depth sensor and adding of the 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor f2.2 aperture. And anyways, for the front side, it is actually completely same. Now let's talk about the Pro Plus guy, Oppo Reno 8 Pro Plus. If I have to talk about the display, then you're going to get is the AMOLED 6.67 inches, 950 nits of peak brightness, 120 Hz display. About the processor, then you're going to get is the MediaTek Dimensity 8100 Max, and this is a 5nm based processor. And if I have to talk about the GPU, Mali G610. Yeah, it's a GPU. About the storage, then there is one variant which is removed from over here, which is 8128. So you are going to get is the two only, 8 to 56 and 12 to 56, same UFS type, which is UFS 3.1. And if I do have to talk about the cameras, actually the cameras are the same for the front and the back. Eventually the battery is actually same too. Now let's talk about the tablet known by Oppo Pad Air, and kind of say this is really nice looking tablet as for me. And if I do have to talk about that specification before we go, this is not having any type of cellular connectivity. It comes with their own very type of tablet, or you can say that pen, which is known by Oppo Pad. As for me, it's a stylus pen in basic wise, and it is a tall tablet as per me. And on the rear side there is only a single camera setup. Eventually, the design wise, the tablet looks a lot like the iPad own type designs. Now let's talk about the display. Then you're going to get is the IPS LCD, 360 nits of brightness, 10.36-inch display, no refresh rate, which is the normal 60 Hz. Talk about the processor. Then you're going to get is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 4G based processor, 680. It's a 6 nm based processor, and if I do have to talk about the GPU, Adreno 610. About the colors, then you're going to get the two color option, gray and silver. I like the both the variant, but gray looks really nice because it is on the darker side, and I like the dark colors more. And if I do have to say so about the headphone jack on this guy, it is not having one. Eventually, the Oppo Reno 8 series also wasn't having headphone jack. Talking about the storage, then you're going to get a three type of storage: 464, 4128, and 6128. UFS 2.2 is the storage type. Talking about the camera for the rear side, then you are going to get is a 8 megapixel sensor. Don't know about which type of sensor, it might be a standard sensor even though. And if I do have to talk about the aperture, f2.2 aperture, 1080p 30 fps is the video recording. For the front side, a 5 megapixel sensor, it's the f2.2 aperture, 1080p 30 fps. About the battery, then you are going to get the 7100 mAh with the polyethylene battery. Inside the box, you are going to get is the 18-watt power adapter, and it's a Type C 2.0 slot. Let's talk about this devices. One Oppo Pad Air, Oppo Reno 8 series. Yeah, let's talk about the Oppo Reno 8 series first. It's a really unusual series, by the way. Even in design wise, it is nice, and I kind of say they are focusing on the design as well, because all the cameras, each and everything is on the downgraded side. And if I do have to say so, cameras for the Pro and the Pro Plus were actually the same. The only difference was the size of the display. Yeah, that's all. And eventually on the Oppo Reno 8, the normal version, or you can say the base version, was having 2 megapixel macro and depth sensor, and kind of say, I don't know why, if you are giving the triple camera setup, then why they are there. Don't add those cameras as for me. And there's gonna be a kind of say a flagship based smartphone in the Oppo Reno lineup. But 2 megapixel sensor aren't a flagship sensor, even though if they have given the 5 megapixel macro depth sensor, then it's gonna be good, but 2 megapixels aren't acceptable. And even though it don't have OIS, yeah, none of them were having OIS, which is a downgrade point. Eventually the storage versions, I like those versions, and they are nice. And on the base guy, they have given base guy and the Pro guy that 8128. You should definitely go if you want that normal storage and the more RAM, then you can get that. And if you are into more, then you can go with the 256. Eventually you won't be getting micro SD card, so yeah, you have to suffer with that things. And actually the phones aren't that much good as for me. And couple of days, or you can say couple of months ago, 7 was there and now 8. It is really too early to announce it 8 series, even though they have kept the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. Many people might be buying this phone to test out the 7 Gen 1, but I don't know why this is too early for them to launch this devices. Now let's talk about the Oppo Pad Air. Eventually this is too early for the pad, or you can say the tablet from the Oppo. Oppo just announced a pad which was around a couple of months ago, and got a Pad Air, and kind of it is expectable that Pad Air is announced, then we're gonna be seeing second generation of the Oppo Pad and Pad Air. So yeah, it's kind of that thing nowadays. And if I do have to talk about, there is no cellular option. Eventually the cameras for the front side, which is the more capable, most important thing for the tablet type of devices is only up to 5 megapixel, and inside the box you won't be getting that type of stylus this they have here. And on the design wise, I like this because you got that dual tone texture which was on the Oppo Pad, but I like this design because that lining and that all stuff looks really nice. So speaking of the design, then let me get back to the Oppo Reno 8. I like the design, and it kind of looks a lot like a OnePlus's design, because you know OnePlus 10 Pro with that cutout, OnePlus Ace I think so with that line cutout which was on the Realme's GT, and it kind of say they have kept that design going on with that on the corner side ish design. So I don't care about that design because now it's common that BBK Electronics or BBK Mobiles are browsing that design from here to here to here. I don't care if even the Vivo comes with the Vivo Fold and it looks a lot like a Oppo Find 10. Anyway, let's keep that talks aside, rebranding and stuff. And eventually, this phones Oppo Reno 8, they are good because they got as a ColorOS 12.1 out of the box. Actually, the tablet got the ColorOS 12, which is based on the Android 12. So yeah, it is really nice that they have kept the latest and the greatest operating system for that lineup. Actually, if you are looking for a design, better display, then you can grab this phone, and just a normal daily to daily usage, then you can grab this phone. Are goodish for the gaming, but not at high end, the top of the gaming you want to be accepting. And if I do have to say so, it's not for that camera type of design, because 50 plus 8, it's kind of say really into a budgetish type of camera setup. So if I have to talk about the tablet, you can grab this for your normal purposes, just watching and enjoying the content. You can grab this for a basic gaming. If you don't like that small design, then you can grab this, but only you can cap yourself with the basic gaming, because Snapdragon 680, it is not that high-end gaming processor. And yeah, you can grab upon your needs, and it's okay type of, it kind of like we want to announce a tablet, hey, but not only tablets, let's add the smartphones on the top too. So they announced the 8 Pro series, sorry, 8 series. So what do you think about this Oppo Reno 8 series and the Oppo Pad Air? Let me know in the comment section down below. This was Captain Diaz. If you end up enjoying this video, then like and share it among your friends so they get even really known about this Oppo Reno series 8 series and the Oppo Pad Air. Press the bell icon so you will not miss any type of this content. I will catch you in the next video. For watching Chaos and Diaz, this was Captain Diaz. Peace out.